You don't think she's the thief. You spotted a takeaway box in her trash can. She has no reason to bother with plain, boring tomato soup when she has Thai food available. Also, if she tried the pig blood, she'd probably be a lot less comfortable with you. Her mind might not jump instantly to vampirism, but still, freaky. Hey all of you cool creatures. I'm Cryptid. Welcome to the CryptidPlays YouTube channel, and today we are playing my Bloodsucking 9 to 5. A visual novel created for the Scream Roulette game jam. What it is about is that we play James, an average Joe crunching numbers all night for an uncaring company. Also, he's a vampire, and someone stole his lunch. This is comedy horror. It was made by the same developer as The Witch and the Prince, and the content warnings include death, described gore, blood, casual suicidal ideation, suicide in one route, strangulation, mind control, animal death, and mind break. So viewer discretion is advised. And with that out of the way, let's see how hard capitalism can really bite. The fluorescent lights on the ceiling light your office in piss yellow. Your eyes burn from staring at the screen all day. Your fingers are cramping, and your back, well, your back went through so much torture today. The Geneva Convention should probably look into it. God. That was a good joke. I laughed before, like when I read it before I started saying it out loud, but my microphone didn't seem to catch it, so. You've been working overtime again. Your name is James. You're just another wage slave, typing his life away in the shadow of a faceless, uncaring corporation. So being attacked by a vampire last year was a bit of a surprise. Those kinds of storylines usually fit better hot young protagonists with tragic pasts and cool tattoos. Not middle-aged nobodies whose idea of fun is arranging their sock drawer by color and texture. Yet, here we are. Poor James. Luckily for you, things haven't changed much since you died. You never could digest Italian food, so you were already safe from garlic. Poor James. And your office weirdly doesn't have any windows. So sunlight hasn't been an issue. Wow, what an awful office. Your boss says it's to avoid productivity productivity losses due to wistful gazes at the outside world. You suspect it's to stop you from jumping to your death and escaping the excruciating team-building exercises he inflicts upon you. Anyway, life as an undead spawn of hell has been pretty uneventful in general. You just need to remember to feed regularly. Speaking of which, your stomach softly growls. You hunger. Ooh, work 5 more minutes. You are almost done with this file. It's going to bug you the whole time and ruin your break. You just know it. So you might as well finish entering the data, right? What's the worst that could happen? You might be a little hangry, but hey, who could blame you? You get back to work. You know your tasks so well, you could probably do them in your sleep. Well, you don't sleep anymore, but the point still stands. You are good at your job, and you pride yourself on your meticulousness. Today isn't any different. It feels like minutes, but when you look up, an hour went by. Your stomach rumbles again, louder. You are hungry. You lock your computer screen and make your way to the break room. You're the only one left. Everyone else went home hours ago. Rows and rows of empty cubicles as far as the eye can see, like deserted honeycombs. You prefer it this way, actually. As energizing as a busy workplace can be, the sheer number of running hearts crammed in one place can be distracting. Staying away from everyone else allows you to focus on your work. Wait, no, you're not the only one left. Vladimir, the office's pet, is here. The boss plopped its tank by the water fountain one day and never checked on it again. Our boss is terrible, both as a boss and a fish owner. You were never a fish guy, but you ended up having to learn how to care for it. The little guy didn't ask to be brought here. It doesn't deserve to suffer. Good evening, Vladimir. You can't help but feel fond of the small creature. You like to imagine it likes you, too. It does seem to recognize you and come closer to the glass whenever you pass by it. Or maybe it does that with everyone. You haven't asked your co-workers about it. Its tank is clean enough, but you haven't fed it yet tonight. You should probably do that before you get distracted by work again and forget. Sorry, Vlad. We're gonna feed you later. A healthy goldfish should be fed twice or thrice a day. You fed Vladimir twice already, so it should be fine if you prioritize your own appetite for now. You know you will remember to feed it. You haven't messed up even once with its care. You hurry to the stairs, not letting yourself be distracted by anything else. Ah, yes, the stairs. Those are some daunting stairs. The main complaint you heard about your workplace, besides the lack of windows, is the location of the break room. I feel like this place is owned by vampires. To avoid sacrificing precious productivity-driven space, your workplace set it a little out of the way. I feel like this is all set up very illegally, which is to say, the basement. And to promote healthy eating habits and physical activities, the elevators have been deactivated. Well, that's definitely illegal. Dan, from accounting, quit on the spot when the boss told him being a wheelchair user was no excuse for laziness. Wow, their boss is evil. You are pretty sure that wherever Dan is now, he's happier. However, finding another job would be a little more difficult for someone in your situation. James, you deserve better. Get a remote job. You know, dead. Technically, you're undead. So it's between you and the stairs now. You brace yourself and start walking down. Down. And down. There's no sound here, but your own footsteps echoing against the walls. Just you and the terrible, rushing realization that you achieved nothing worthwhile in your life. You have no academic achievements, coasting through school on the wings of mediocrity. You're no one. Just another wage slave amongst millions of others, not incompetent, but easily replaceable. A useful cog. You don't even have a life outside of work. Your closest friend only calls when he wants to complain about his girlfriend. Everyone you knew is getting married, having kids, going places. The world is moving, and it is moving fast, and you're just there. It's like there's an invisible wall between you and everyone else. Try as you might, you've never managed to break through it. Sometimes you wonder if it's worth holding on. Maybe you should walk outside and watch the sun rise for the last time of your pathetic, undead existence. Oh hey, you made it. The break room welcomes you with the comforting warmth of a walk-in freezer. Ah, the buzz of dying light bulbs and the constant roar of the aircon, very soothing. In a way that makes sense. Nobody would want to linger here longer than necessary. In comparison, your cubicle looks downright homey. Love how the microwave is on the floor. Your stomach grumbles like a pissed badger. That was embarrassingly loud. Well, time to eat. You managed to convince a butcher to sell you some of the pig blood he uses to make blood sausages. He thinks you're a freak, but you pay plenty, so he doesn't make a fuss about it. Pig blood tastes bad, but it's filling. You try to think about it like a protein shake. An unpleasant, but healthy ordeal. You put it in the fridge, disguised as a bottle of tomato soup, and clearly labeled it with your name. That is not gonna stop someone from stealing it, but good on you. You put it right in the middle. Oh, yep. I mean, I knew from the game description, but oh dear. Yes, right there. No. Maybe you just missed it. There's nothing else in the fridge we couldn't have. Maybe someone moved it aside to store their own lunchbox. Yes, of course. You must just not have noticed it. A rational, plausible explanation. But the tomato soup bottle doesn't magically manifest back into the empty fridge. It's gone. Just gone. Someone stole your lunch. Your raw pig blood lunch. Labeled with your name. If people knew about it, you could lose your job. Yeah, I can't imagine anything good can come from this. And, more importantly, you are so hungry. We've been going with the bottom choice, so let's run back upstairs and try to find the thief, if they're still here. It doesn't take you long to climb the stairs, your mind too blinded by panic to even notice the exertion. The cubicles are just as silent as when you passed by them earlier. But you can smell coffee, not the tepid sludge from the machine either. No, hot, aromatic, expensive coffee from the outside. You know it's a long shot that whoever the coffee drinker is, they're probably totally unrelated to the thief. But outside of going to check on the managers upstairs, you're not sure what else you can even do. Check on Vladimir. Vladimir is still there, swimming peacefully. He's fine. I love the smile. Yes, that's the best part. Vladimir's fine. You shouldn't worry about him too much. He's very healthy. Can I keep checking? Okay, fine. Find the coffee drinker. It makes more sense to investigate what's right there first, rather than blindly wandering around, hoping for what's best. You follow your nose to a cubicle identical to your own, although this one is closer to the toilets. The coffee drinker is a woman you recognize from the last team building event you attended. You haven't talked much, the both of you preferring to keep to yourselves. But you remember her name is Karin. She hasn't noticed you yet. Her back turned to you as she nurses her cup of overpriced coffee. Her pulse is slow and steady. Say hello. Good evening. Oh, hello there. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you come in. Can I help you with something? I'm sorry for disturbing your work. Someone stole my lunch. Really? That's awful. It was just a bottle of tomato soup, but I would like to find out who took it. Did you see anyone acting suspicious? You don't think she's the thief. You spotted a takeaway box in her trash can. She has no reason to bother with plain, boring tomato soup when she has Thai food available. Also, if she tried the pig blood, she'd probably be a lot less comfortable with you. Her mind might not jump instantly to vampirism, but still, freaky. I'm sorry, but no, I haven't seen anyone. I mean, the cleaning lady left already, but I don't think she would have taken anything from the fridge. No, I don't think she's the type either. Well, thank you for your time. I'll let you get back to work. Karin hesitates as you get ready to leave. Do you want me to help you look for it? You would? It's only rational. Two people would have an easier time combing through the building. She is right, of course. On the other hand, you're still very, very hungry. And while you never reached a point where you lost control, you're reasonably sure you're a danger to humans at this point. Karin can't be any older than 25. She's just a kid in your eyes. A highly competent one, but still, a kid. Staying near her would be putting her in harm's way. I can manage, but thank you. I appreciate the offer. You look like you're about to faint. She's not wrong. You're very pale, and your hands feel clammy. Let me help. Your stomach gurgles loudly once again. See? When's the last time you ate? A while ago. Yesterday, actually. But you don't need to feed that often. Your stomach makes itself heard again. Karin chuckles at your embarrassed expression and puts her hands on her hips. Just let me assist you. Weird, she didn't seem that interested in the team building events, and yet she seems dead set on being helpful right now. Maybe she's better at, small groups. Maybe she's been endeared to you through your awkward mannerisms and negative charisma. Or maybe she hopes that as her senior in the company, you might put in a good word for her once the time to negotiate raises comes. Maybe she just really hates lunch thieves. Either way, she's not going to give up on helping you unless you give her a proper reason. Tell her the truth? That's very risky. She might think you're crazy if she doesn't believe you. And if she somehow did believe you, that could be way worse. You're dangerous now, sure, but you're not invincible. A simple UV lamp and you're cooked. Literally. Okay, so yeah, it says literally. That's a lot of trust to put in someone you don't know. Are you sure this is how you want to go about it? Yes, tell Karin the truth. I can't accept your help. I am sorry. Why? It's going to sound insane. Try me, I've heard it all. Come on, you made your bed. Lie in it, or tell the truth in it, rather. I am a vampire. Well, yes, I know that, but why can't I help you? Wait, really? She knows about your condition? James, you don't have a reflection. I don't. Don't tell me you didn't notice. Maybe he never looks in the mirror. To be fair, you never were fond of your own appearance. I was fixing my foundation, and you didn't show up in my compact. It took a bit of research, but nothing else made sense. Now you feel like you're the crazy one. Are all young people like that, Or is she a special case? So why can't I help you? Aren't you scared of me? Of course not. Well, a little, early on. But months went by and you never attacked anyone at the office. You were always kind to everyone in your, own standoffish way. No offense. None taken. And then you fed Vladimir. I even heard you talk to it. I don't think a man that spends so much effort on a goldfish can truly be evil. You didn't think anyone else cared about the little guy. You feel warm. It's not something you're used to. I did consider buying a cross to ward you off, you know? Oh, those don't work. Really? Yes, I'm not sure if it's because I never was a Christian or if it's because it needs to be blessed a certain way. But plenty of our co-workers have crosses for a necklace, and they never bothered me. Ah, interesting. Well, I'm glad I never had to use it then. I thank you for trusting me, I mean. Still, I'd prefer you didn't accompany me while I look. My hunger makes me unstable. I'd never forgive myself if I were to hurt you. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Okay, how about this? You go upstairs to see if your bottle's there, and I'll look through everyone's cubicles. This way you'll be away from me and we'll cover twice as much ground. She's never going to let that one go. And it's not a bad plan. It doesn't cost anything to give it a shot. All right. I don't care if you disagree, Oh. She clears her throat, embarrassed. Well, good. I'll see you later. Feel like we're on track for a good ending. Yes, give me a holler if you find the bottle before I do. Well, that went better than expected. You make your way to the elevator, apparently promoting healthy habits and physical activities doesn't apply to the managers. Their elevator works just fine. You smother a pang of annoyance and press the button. Life's unfair. You are used to it by now. You walk into the open office. Your steps barely make a noise on the tastefully beige carpet, while the open office feels less suffocating than the endless rows of cubicles downstairs. You'd rather die than trade what little privacy you have for more elbow room. Aw, James, my boy, you finally made it. Your boss is sitting by someone's desk, hands crossed in front of him, like he belongs here. You school your expression into a more neutral one. Good evening, I didn't expect you to be there so late, sir. No, I didn't think you would. What is that even supposed to mean? He's also a vampire, James. So tell me, James, What can I help you with? You realize how weird this must look to an outsider. Wandering alone at night on a floor you have nothing to do with. Sorry to intrude. My lunchbox seems to have been misplaced. I was hoping that maybe someone had simply brought it upstairs by mistake. It sounds like a weak excuse, even to your ears. You're too old and too dead to find another job. In this economy, you're screwed if he decides to fire you. Oh, the pig blood in the tomato soup bottle. I disposed of it. What? You heard me. I poured it down the drain. Questions race through your mind. Your head is swimming. What? Why? How? It wasn't a great way to conceal it, by the way. A thermos would have been a better choice. And James, pig blood? Really? You didn't even try to rob a blood bank? Even bags of plasma would have been healthier. Feeding yourself animal sources only is a sure way to forego the eternal life you were gifted. After I went through the trouble of selecting you, tisk tisk. Selecting you? You were the one who turned me into a vampire? He laughs, and you can see the faint glimmer of sharp fangs under his bushy mustache. You must be dizzy with hunger if you're asking me questions with such obvious answers. Of course I did. For a second, you feel like you're going insane. Your boss is a vampire and made you into one. That makes a lot of sense, actually. You always felt like there was something wrong with the man. You know, most people don't survive a vampire's bite, and amongst those who do, many go insane. I had great hopes for you considering how you strived in an actively hostile workplace environment. Did he do this so we would work for him forever? And I was right. You succeeded with flying colors. Now you still seem terribly reluctant to feed properly, but nobody is perfect. I believe you can be taught. Your stomach rumbles with hunger. Even our boss seems surprised. At least your body is honest. I arranged for a suitable prey to do overtime tonight. She should be at her cubicle right now. He means Karin? He gave her extra work to make sure you two would be alone, so you'd attack her? You feel nauseated. He used her as bait, a worm on a hook, for you to bite into. She's not even a person in his eyes, is she? He keeps calling her prey. Now go and feed. His voice lashes at you, and your body jerks back towards the elevator. You try to resist, but something's compelling you, forcing you to obey him. You'd better stop this childishness, boy. This is your nature. I can't believe you're still this stubborn after this long. Did you intend to starve to death? What good do you think that would have done, He sounds disappointed, like you're a misbehaving child that needs to be punished. And still your body moves against your will. You feel sick. I am not a monster. I refuse. Your boss snarls at you in rage. Silence, spawn. Your jaw shuts with an audible click. You still defy me. Now, boy, be very careful. I invested a lot into you, but you are replaceable. Is the life of one insignificant prey worth throwing everything I'm offering away? If you refuse to accept your destiny, I will have to put you down. But even if you were to win our little fight, you would be a pariah amongst vampires. Is saving one pathetic human life worth an eternity of loneliness? If you take my deal, Vampire Society shall open its doors to you. Community, a family, somewhere you belong. Doesn't that sound nice, son? So think about your answer very carefully. I'm gonna submit first. I'm sorry, Karin. You may speak. Instantly, the pressure on your jaw releases. It's like it was never there in the first place. And that's the thing, isn't it? He can do those things to you because he is stronger than you. He is older, more experienced. You can feel his power as his will crushes your body into submission. You have no chance to win. This is hopeless, so you give up. I will go and feed. Attaboy, I knew you'd see reason. He clasps your shoulder in a friendly squeeze. Come join me in my office once you're done, will you? And don't worry about the mess. We have a cleaning crew on call. Now you can move on your own once again. You make your way to the elevator. You press the button. You feel empty. It's not hard to find your prey. The smell of coffee clinging to her like cologne. She never even sees you coming. One blink, and you're upon your victim. Your jaws close around her throat, tearing into her delicate skin. She tries to scream in pain, but you twist your head and rip her flesh with a wet, tearing noise. Everything fades away as you feed. It feels so good. You drink from her, and it's like swallowing lightning, pure, sparkling, electric energy. You only ever fed from animals, rats first, and later pig blood. Your boss was right. You were slowly starving yourself. For the first time, you are sated. Eventually, as the bloodstream in your mouth tapers off, you get control over yourself again. You gently lay the corpse down, and you stretch your blood-stained limbs. You feel powerful in a way you never felt before. There's no point denying it now. You aren't human anymore. You killed. You tasted blood. You can't come back from that. And while you blame your boss for forcing your hand, you're still responsible. You didn't have to wait so long before you fed. You didn't have to go back to work. You could have stayed far away from the living. But you did wait. You did go back to work. You didn't stay away. Playing house with prey and pretending you were one of them was more important than their safety in the end. That first human's death is your fault. So will every other one be. Selfishness runs into your veins. Your boss was right. This was always your nature. You become his right-hand man, his faithful hound, coldly carrying his orders. You forget to feed Vladimir one too many times. One day you find it floating in its tank, upside down. You can't find it in you to care. Your boss becomes the center of your world. His word is law. His goals are yours. His success gives your life meaning. It has to be enough, right? Ending 5 out of 5, empty husk. Okay. Let's resist him, rather. And then there's 3 more endings. You may speak. Instantly, the pressure keeping your jaws shut releases. Your feet refuse to move, his will still pinning you in place. And that's the thing, isn't it? He can do those things to you because he is stronger than you, older, more experienced. You felt his power as he crushed your body into submission. You have no chance to win. This is hopeless, and yet you take a step. How? You launch at him with all of your might. You refuse to be crushed. You refuse to be used. Ridiculous. He dodges your attack with a nimbleness you wouldn't expect from a man his age. But that's the thing, isn't it? He isn't just a man. He is a monster. Stand still. Your body freezes once again. His hand closes around your throat, and he squeezes. You claw at his arms, at his face. but he just huffs in annoyance. You're like a toddler trying to wrestle an adult. That's a pity. Your ability to break free of my control. What an exceptional talent. You had so much potential, and yet you had to squander it. His fingers dig into your flesh. Black spots start dancing in front of your eyes. You knew this was hopeless. You don't regret struggling. Better dying as a man than living as a dog. Your moves get more and more sluggish as he keeps squeezing and squeezing. You feel yourself slowly fading. The vampire lets go of your throat to look at a sharp piece of wood jutting out from his chest. What is that? He slumps to the ground. Karin pants, her hands shaking as she checks you over for wounds. Are you okay? You shake your head, trying to clear your thoughts. No, you're not okay. You almost died again. But you saved me? Well, yeah, you had been gone for ages, so I got worried. She barely even knows you, and she still charged at her boss as a monster, without so much as a second of hesitation. Her bravery is worrying. She gives you a while to gather your thoughts and to massage your sore throat. You told me you had considered buying a cross. I made that stake with a stick I found in the park. Obviously, I wasn't going to tell you I had one, but if you had been dangerous, you can't blame me for staying safe. No, that was smart thinking. She beams at you, delighted by the praise. We probably shouldn't stay here. Right. You reach out and pull the stake out of your boss's chest. You don't watch enough police procedurals to be sure if that'll be enough to hide Karen's involvement. Shit, I forgot about the security cameras. I'm in such deep shit. You blink at her owlishly for a second, before chuckling. What's so funny? Sometimes I forget you haven't been in this company for long. There's no cameras here. I used to think the boss was just cheap, but maybe he didn't want to risk being caught hunting his own employees. These are just decoys. They don't lead to anything. Basically a plastic toy with a LED blinking for realism. Oh. You both go back to your workspaces to grab your things. You fill a plastic bag with some water from Vladimir's tank. Scooping the small goldfish in proves to be a little difficult. It needs some gentle coaxing from you and a lot of swearing from Karin. Still, through the power of teamwork, you manage. The air is crisp and fresh outside. You take a second to take it in. At that time of night, the streets are empty. It's just the two of you and a little goldfish. So, what do we do next? It comes to her so easily, saying we, like your old-time friends. But you suppose joining forces to murder your boss does create a certain bond between people. I'm not sure. It's been so long since you've looked up at the pale moon. You rarely ever took the time to contemplate the world before. Oh, I know. How about we open our own accounting firm? As small business owners, we could work from home so you wouldn't have to deal with the sun. She starts planning a future for the two of you, throwing hundreds of ideas. With her enthusiasm and your experience, you two will be just fine. Well, as long as the cops don't catch you. Ending 1 of 5, freed from your chains. Ooh. This time I'm going to avoid meeting Karin. Run back upstairs. See if there's a manager still working. We can skip over this dialogue because it's probably... yeah, because it's the same, it looks like. Sorry to intrude. My lunchbox seems to have been misplaced. I was hoping that maybe someone had simply brought it upstairs by mistake. It sounds like a weak excuse, even to your ears. You're too old and too dead to find another job. In this economy, you're screwed if he decides to fire you. Oh, the pig blood in the tomato soup bottle. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna skip ahead. Your stomach rumbles with hunger. I arranged for a suitable prey to do overtime tonight. She should be at her cubicle. Coffee drinker. You never talked to them. All along, they were just bait? He was hoping you'd go mad with starvation and kill them. Now go and feed. His voice lashes at you, and your body jerks back towards the elevator. You try to resist, but something's compelling you, forcing you to obey him. You better stop this childishness, boy. This is your nature. I can't believe you're still this stubborn after this long. He sounds disappointed, like you're a misbehaving child that needs to be punished. And still your body moves against your will. You feel sick. I am not a monster. I refuse. Your boss snarls at you in rage. Silence, Spawn. Now, boy, be very careful. I invested a lot into you, but you are replaceable. Yep. Yeah, manipulating us, thanks. I assume submitting will be the same ending as the empty husk one, but let's see real quick. It was in your nature. You become his right-hand man. Poor Vladimir dies. Okay. Resist. You may speak. You have no chance to win. This is hopeless. And yet, you take a step. Ow! You launch at him with all your might. You refuse to be crushed. You refuse to be used. Ridiculous. He dodges your attack with a nimbleness you wouldn't expect from a man his age. But that's the thing, isn't it? He isn't just a man. He is a monster. Stand still. Your body freezes once again. His hand closes around your throat, and he squeezes. You claw at his arms, at his face, but he just huffs in annoyance. You're like a toddler trying to wrestle an adult. That's a pity. Your ability to break free of my control. What an exceptional talent. You had so much potential, and yet you squander it. His fingers dig into your flesh. Black spots start dancing in front of your eyes. You knew this was hopeless. You don't regret struggling. Better dying as a man than living as a dog. Your moves get more and more sluggish as he keeps squeezing and squeezing. You feel yourself slowly fading. Everything disappears. Your lifeless corpse hits the floor. What a disappointment. A waste of time and resources. Well, there's always next time. The vampire looks at the sharp piece of wood now jutting out from his chest. What is that? You, the newbie. For the last time, my name's Karin. She digs the stake in a little deeper, and he slumps to the ground. She pants, her hands shaking with adrenaline. Also, I quit. She finally notices the unnatural angle of your neck, and she blanches. Karin runs to your side to check you for any sign of life. No, oh no. There's nothing she can do. Vampires may be undead, but they don't come back from a broken neck. I'm sorry. I couldn't save you from that monster. Your name was James, right? Had I known you were there, then maybe things would have been different. Yep. Karin rips her weapon from the corpse of your murderer. Before leaving the room, she stops one last time to look at you. I'm sorry. Good morning, Vladimir. Ugh. Another automated rejection email. In this economy, looking for a job isn't easy. Heck no. On the plus side, nobody came to knock at her door asking about vampires or murder weapons. Karin is smart and resourceful. She's sure to find a job somewhere where her qualities are appreciated. You can rest easy. She'll be okay. Wait. They're hiring vampire hunters. Actually, maybe you should haunt her a little. You know, just to keep that kid out of trouble. Ending 3 out of 5. Final girl! Hell yeah. So let us, I bet if we get really hungry, we'll have a couple of endings. So, waste time. You are almost done with this file. Or rather, don't waste time, but, you know, keep working. So you might as well finish entering the data, right? We're hungry. Let's go to Vladimir and feed him. Feed it now. You grab a pinch of fish pellets and drop them on the surface of the water. Vladimir wanders around, trying to find them all. You watch it for a while as it swims around its fake plant wonderland. You can't help but feel a little envious. It's happy to exist in the artificial prison that its tank is. It doesn't understand that its surroundings are plastic, that its world is suffocatingly small. Well, it's a nice-sized tank for a single goldfish. It's just happy to simply exist, thoughtless and content. It sounds very restful. Your stomach growls. You should probably head towards the break room already. Your dinner is waiting for you. Nah, let's hang out with Vladimir a little longer. There's no rush. Everyone else went home, so it's not like you're expected anywhere. And your lunch isn't going away anytime soon. It's already gone, I'm sorry, James. You should make the best of what little free time you have. And what could possibly be better than hanging out with a fish? Nothing, clearly. You spend a little while just observing Vladimir do its thing. Its thing is, unsurprisingly, going back and forth. Just like you're good at crunching pointless numbers, it's good at swimming in circles. There's a kinship between you two. It's comforting in a way you can't quite articulate. And while you do enjoy spending time with Vladimir, you are so hungry. Your hands shake a little. Your mouth feels like it's full of cotton. Hunger claws at your guts like a wild beast. And Vladimir keeps swimming in its tank. Back and forth, back and forth. Its translucent red scales shimmer under the bright lights. And you can almost see its heartbeat. Your mouth waters. You jolt away from the fish tank, a shiver of disgust and shame coursing down your back. You don't even want to think about what just happened. You hurry to the stairs, not letting yourself be distracted by anything else. Ah yes, the stairs. Alright, to the basement. Down, down, and down. Oh hey, you made it. The break room welcomes you with the comforting warmth of a walk-in freezer. Well, time to eat. Yes, right there. No. Maybe you just missed it? Someone stole your lunch. Your raw pig blood lunch. Labeled with your name. If people knew about it, you could lose your job. And more importantly, you are so hungry. Let's waste more time. Look for your lunch in the break room. Hunger claws at your veins, burning your stomach like cold fire. In a state of panicked frenzy, you tear the break room apart. You find many dust bunnies and a couple of disgruntled spiders. The microwave hasn't been cleaned in weeks, but outside of stains and crumbs, it is empty. You do spot a faint, metallic scent by the sink. You try not to think about the implications of that. You have to face the truth. If your pig blood is anywhere, it's not here. You rush back to the stairs. You can smell coffee. Let's check on Vladimir. Oh, this is probably gonna be sad. Vladimir is still there, swimming peacefully. You are starving, and it is gray. You can't control your body anymore as it jerks forward. It's not hard to catch it. You are an apex predator, after all, and Vladimir is just a normal, inoffensive goldfish. You can't stop yourself, a captive audience to your own monstrosity. You aren't in charge anymore. Your body knows what you need, what to do. It's violating. You can't fight it back. Your will crushed under the claws of instinct. A bite. That's all it takes to snuff out a tiny life. Just a crunch under your fangs. It doesn't taste good. It's blood incompatible with your biology. It does dull the pangs of hunger, like a glass of cold water might trick a human's stomach. It's not enough, but you don't feel as frantic anymore. The beast appeased. For now, you feel empty. Something broke inside of you. You didn't realize how important it was until it was gone. So I have a feeling that not much is gonna change if we don't meet her, because we either kill her or die ourselves. So instead, let's just find her. It makes more sense to investigate what's right there first, rather than blindly wandering around hoping for the best. Alright. Let's tap her on the shoulder. You tap her on the shoulder. Jesus Christ! You scared me. My apologies. I didn't mean to. She glares at you as she grabs a paper towel to wipe the coffee she spilled on her desk. Way to go. On the plus side, once you hit bottom, the only way is up. The young woman sighs and schools her features into a less hostile expression. Did you need something? Alright, someone stole my lunch. Did you see anyone with a bottle of tomato soup? Oh really, I'm sorry, but no, I haven't seen anything weird. Karin hesitates as you get ready to leave. Alright. So we're gonna tell her the truth because the little part with talking about Vladimir will probably change a bit. Yes. I can't accept your help, I'm sorry. Why? I'm a vampire. Well, yes, I know that. And then you fed Vladimir. I even heard you talk to it. I don't think a man that spends so much effort on a goldfish can truly be evil. Guilt squeezes your throat. Poor Vladimir. You'd throw up if you could. She's wrong about you. You are evil. It is in your nature, and you can't deny that anymore. Alright. Crosses don't work. Make up a lie. I've been sitting all day. I need to be more active. You'll understand when you're my age. I see. She looks very disappointed, maybe even a little mad. You guess that, as a newbie, her contribution is often overlooked. It makes you feel a little bad about it, but still, it's safer this way. Actually, I haven't checked the archives. Do you think you could do it? Alright, sure. She clearly knows you're coddling her, but she's decided to take it for the olive branch it's meant to be. She's a smart one. You'll have to try to talk to her more after this. With some mentoring, she's sure to go far in the company. She deserves a better future than being stuck at this level like you. Call for me if you find the bottle before I do. She is very visibly struggling not to roll her eyes at you. Yes, see you later. Well, that could have gone better. That could have gone much worse, too. You make your way to the elevator. And we are going to refuse him. Your stomach rumbles with hunger. If you hadn't lost control and killed Vladimir, she would have been your victim. He propped her up like a steak on a stick for you to rip into, like you're a starving dog receiving a juicy treat from his master. No, I refuse. I am not a monster. I'm not a monster. You sure about that? You already killed Vladimir. What's one more? You are an apex predator. It is in your nature. I refuse. Your boss snarls at you in rage. Silence, Spawn. Blah, blah, blah. We are going to resist. You feel yourself slowly fading. Everything disappears. Oh, it's probably because we did not gain her favor. Yes, we trust her. Alright, let's go resist our boss again. Let's see what happens. We are struggling. Okay, yeah. Sharp piece of wood jutting out of his chest. Are you okay? You shake your head. trying to clear your thoughts. No, you're not okay. You almost died again. But you saved me? Well, yeah. You'd been gone for ages, so I got worried. Her bravery is worrying. That was smart thinking. She beams at you, delighted by the praise. We probably shouldn't stay here. Right. You reach out and pull the stake out. Alright, you both go back to your workspaces to grab your things. Wait, what about Vladimir? Guilt twists your entrails. So you lie because what else can you do? Admit what you did? No, you're too much of a coward for that. It'll be better off staying here. We don't have a tank. It needs space. She opens her mouth to argue, but after a look at your face, she relents. If you say so. She looks pretty sad about it. That only makes you feel worse. As you exit the building, you make your decision. Goodbye, Karin. What? Go home, Karin. Go to bed and sleep. When the sun rises, everything will be taken care of. Her body turns away from you, despite her protests. She takes a step, then another, and she keeps walking towards her home. You watch her leave. You're not as used to compelling people as your boss was, but it came to you easily enough. You pushed your will into her mind, forced her to obey. And that's the issue, isn't it? It wasn't hard. It would be so easy to do it again, and again, and again. And from bending other people's will, it'd be easy enough to slowly slide into not seeing them as people anymore. It'd be easy to think of them as tools. And then it'd be easy to start feeding from them until you became indistinguishable from your boss. You are dangerous, a predator. You felt it when you killed Vladimir. Something fragile in you, something important, broke. You are still so hungry. Today you resisted. But what if you run out of pig blood again? No, as long as you're around, humans, they'll never be safe. You patrol the building, and you force the 2 security guards to leave with your newfound ability. Once you're sure it's just you, you set your plan in motion. You've been in this company for a long time. Long enough to know exactly what to turn on and off to create a fire. How to turn off the fire alarm. As the flames lick at the walls, you sit in your cubicle. You open a new file. You get to work. You'll die as you lived, an unremarkable workaholic, typing his life away in the shadow of an uncaring company, a human. And in the morning, just like you promised Karin, everything will be taken care of. Ending 2 out of 5, ashes to ashes. Alright, we have one other ending to get. So probably instead of going to Vladimir, we go to Karin? Already, we're gonna find the coffee drinker. Her pulse is slow and steady. You are starving, and she is prey. You can't control your body anymore as it jerks forwards, fangs at the ready. One blink and you're upon your victim. Your jaws close around her throat, tearing into her delicate skin. She tries to scream in pain, but you twist your head and rip her flesh with a wet, tearing noise. Everything fades away as you feed. You can't stop it. A captive audience to your own monstrosity. You aren't in charge anymore. Your body knows what you need, what to do. It's violating. You can't fight it back. Your will crushed under the claws of instinct. And the worst part, it feels so good. You drink from her, and it's like swallowing lightning. Your sparkling electric energy. It's your first time having human blood. You only ever fed from animals, rats first and later pig blood. You were slowly starving yourself, and now you are sated. Eventually, as the bloodstream in your mouth tapers off, you get control over yourself again. You feel powerful in a way you never felt before. It only makes the guilt worse as you look at the corpse you're still holding in a parody of a lover's embrace. You lower Karin's limp form to the ground. She didn't deserve any of this. Did she have someone waiting for her at home? A pet, maybe? You didn't even know her last name. She couldn't be older than 25, just a kid doing her best at her first steady job, and you took it all away. You are a murderer, but the one who pushed you into starvation is just as guilty. It's like you were blind and deaf before, your senses dulled and slow. No more. You feel everything. And now that you can smell him, you know there is another vampire on the prowl. You'd bet he's the one who took your lunch. Tracking him is easy. His tracks are sharp and clear. A part of you knows he left them on purpose, just for you. You keep thinking about Karin's fading heartbeat, the way your body moved against your will. You were nothing but a puppet to your instinct. That you get angry about. You stumble into the open office. You can smell him everywhere. The man who starved you into killing, taunting you. And here he is, sitting on one of his subordinates' chairs, like he belongs there. Somehow you're not surprised that the other bloodsucker in the building is your own boss. Ah, James, I see you finally decided to join me. You sure took your sweet time getting here, my boy. You bare your fangs at him and growl. You. Don't you take that tone with me, Spawn. Stand down. Your mouth snaps shut with a click, your will once again crushed by a stronger power. That's better. You'll learn I am a fairly patient man, but even I have my limits. I see from your rather rumpled appearance that you finally fed yourself properly. I can't believe you waited this long. Did you intend to starve to death? What good do you think that would have done? You couldn't answer even if you wanted to. Your feet are nailed to the ground. Your mouth remains shut, despite your attempts at unclenching your jaw. He muzzled you with barely more than a sentence. Oh, silly me, you may speak. Instantly, the pressure releases, like it was never there in the first place. Why did you pour my lunch down the drain? What a question. Because you were poisoning yourself, quite obviously. Feeding yourself from animal sources only is a sure way to forego the eternal life you were gifted. Alright, yep, he selected us, blah blah blah. You succeeded with flying colors. Now I had to gently nudge you in the direction of prey, but nobody is perfect. You were the one who bit me. You must still be quite blood drunk if you're asking me questions with such obvious answers. Of course I did. Think about it as a promotion. My business keeps expanding, and before long I might need to leave some of my affairs in capable hands. He reaches out, clasping your shoulder. His fingers dig painfully into your skin, like a silent threat. So, will you accept my offer, James, my boy? You open your mouth to refuse, but he digs his claws a little deeper. Think about it seriously. It is your nature. Is defying me worth an eternity of loneliness? I'd rather die. He bit you. He fucking bit you. And then he abandoned you. He left you to figure out how to survive on your own. And when you didn't behave like he wanted you to, he tricked you into complying. And he has the nerve to dangle the promise of belonging in front of you, like you're some stupid dog. I would rather die than work even one more day under you. That is unfortunate. You move towards him, but he is faster than you. Stop! Sit down! Your body complies once again. You're nothing but a puppet for him to play with. Fury pools in your chest, burning bright. Such a pity. You showed so much promise. You gnash your teeth together. You killed Karin, but she died because this man treated her like a pawn. She was innocent. She could have been your daughter in another life. You get up. Ow! You're not experienced as a vampire as he is, but a lifetime of bottled up anger fuels you. You take a step towards him. Stop! His order pulls at your mind, but you ignore it and snarl. You keep thinking about Karin, about the people who might be waiting for her to come back from work and will never see her again. You keep thinking about how scared she must have felt when you sank your teeth into her flesh. How lonely it must have been. You take another step. Stop it! This time his words barely compel you. You don't need to obey him. You just need to follow your instinct. And your instinct says that man is prey. He tries to scramble away in a panic. You are faster. You feed from him. You don't try to make it quick. You don't try to make it last either. He is nothing to you. Just some vermin you're eliminating. You leave the building with Vladimir in a plastic bag. You'll have to get a proper tank. For now, this will do. The streets are empty at this hour. It's just you and this little fish under the streetlights. You don't know what you're going to do. You left 2 bloodless corpses behind you and a whole lot of fingerprints on them. It shouldn't take the cops too long to solve that mystery and start looking for you. You should plan, think of something. But you are exhausted. If it were up to you, you'd sit here and wait for dawn to rise and destroy you, or for the police to shoot you down, whichever came first. But if you did that, nobody would remember to feed Vladimir, so you keep walking. A goldfish is as good a reason to live as any other. Ending 4 out of 5. Carry on. Alright, before I do my outro, I just want to thank my channel members real quick. Thank you so much for your support. Not only does it help the channel grow, it helps the videos keep coming. I truly appreciate it. That was a sad visual novel. I was happy that there was a happy ending, but in general, James's life as a vampire is quite sad. I obviously preferred the ending where he and Karin and Vladimir get out of there, but I think all of the endings were very fitting, and his love of Vladimir just was so sweet. I'm glad he really wants to take care of that little fish, and I'm glad that in the endings where Vladimir does survive, someone takes care of him, except in the ones where obviously James submits, but, well, the one, rather. But yeah, anyways, that was good. It was definitely comedy, definitely horror, and definitely kind of just sad, but still funny. I did laugh a few times. Anyhow, I am going to leave this here. If you made it this far, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did like it, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of me, please subscribe. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye.